right, guys, so we're live. Good morning. We're just gonna kind of chill here a little bit, and then, like always, at 9:15 a.m., I'll kind of get started with the official stuff. So, uh, weird pre-market. I'm looking right now on APDN from a few weeks ago. When was this? 2 weeks ago, right here, APDN, and I just want to think about how I want to maybe trade this one, because last time we pulled higher, and then around 7 o'clock was the high, and then ever since then we're kind of selling off here a little bit. Actually, let's go to ECOR really quickly because it looks like ECOR could be a possible trade. So right now, ECOR, one of our lead gappers, kind of pulling back here a little bit, trying to retest the 9-minute EMA, might break out here from VWAP. I like the energy that we're seeing when we're coming to this shoulder here at $3. I'd probably consider buying this on a quick pullback here. Let's see how this one behaves. I'm just going to give this one shot here for a possible entry on this pullback. It probably won't even pull back too much, is my guess. Possible 5-minute setup around 90 in the 90s. This could break VWAP right here. Just gonna keep watching this one kind of closely. So let's go back and talk about APDN. I'm a little distracted right now, but that's just how it goes. So if ECOR starts pulling back again, I'm gonna probably switch over to it. What I do like about APDN, even though it didn't really hold its highs at all last time, it did kind of find some support near this kind of $13 zone. So I would like to find something similar. Out of the gates, it instantly popped higher here. So let's keep an eye out for that. Okay, so here, ECOR pulling back, going to 92, 91. Let's see if we can get a fill here at 90. Didn't get the fill. I was waiting for a crack of 90 actually. I thought a fill of like 90 was going to be too soon. I'm going to go ahead and remove my limit orders for now. Yeah, so, we could have had a small, decent little trade on this one. I would be looking for the break of VWAP here. Ideally, breaking 305 roughly, and then maybe going to 315 or so. That's what I would be looking for on this trade. Let's keep an eye on it again here. Might have another pullback. ECOR with a nice bull flag, looking for a bit of a fake out before we move higher. Sell volume decreasing, buy volume decreasing as well. This could be the turnaround right here at 96 though. $98. Oof, sellers at the 3, but I think it's going to ship through it. Here goes 300. Already down to 200. Let's see if we can get that ship. Might need one more attempt here. 230. Sellers piling on again. That second 5-minute candle is looking quite weak. Here we go. This could be the pullback. ECOR is also a bit notorious for not really holding its highs and selling off quite a bit. $3 is big resistance. So here we go, second attempt to break 3. Should most likely break out. Ooh, look at them sellers piling on again at 3. If we do get a breakout, it should be quite a nice one. Still thinking it might have a quick reversal, kind of gear up a 5-minute setup before it breaks out though. It's had a pretty nice climb so far without any sort of 5-minute major pullback. Anything into the 80s could be a good little snag. That was about like 3 or 4 trial. Ooh, big sellers there on the 90 now. Sellers are still there. That was a pretty big pullback. Possible entry here at 84. Let's see if we can get a little pop back to the 9-minute EMA or maybe even a bigger reversal. A little bit reluctant now to see a bigger move. I'm just going to close this one. Wasn't really what I wanted. Started losing faith in it. I don't know, just whatever. A scratch, just got out of that one. Okay, so let's go back to APDN. Ugh. So APDN, like I said, found some support at 13 and then it pulled higher again. So this one, when it opened up, it kind of opened... let's see, it opened roughly here. So at, whoops. It opened here at 13, pulled down about 3% and then total, and then had a nice reversal. So I don't know, maybe we're going to see something similar to APDN. This pullback from the pre-market highs was about 25%. What I'm a little bit worried about this time is that pre-market reversal here has been much, much higher. So let's see, about 25. Okay, never mind. Actually, what was I thinking? Something else was pulling back quite a lot. I had several attempts on APDN earlier today, and I just didn't really get the move I was waiting for. I tried for these reversals in this area twice, didn't get it, and actually that last attempt was the time of the reversal. So I kind of messed that up a little bit here. APDN, this is actually a pretty sweet move. Could see a quick pullback here. Put a limit order at I'm going to remove that for now. ECOR selling off as well. This could keep pulling higher. This is looking pretty strong. Remember, APDN, 4 million float, U.S. Security and Protection Company, FDA approval on coronavirus testing kit. That's really, really bullish news, and it's one of the only ones with a tiny float. SONN has a small float of 9 million, so that's looking really good as well. ECOR is still selling off here, so I've been trying to be a little bit more cautious today. I've been kind of stumbling over myself again, just like yesterday. We're down $33 pre-market. NOG was where I really took my big loss on. I tried to buy a bigger pullback here, back on the crack of $1, which actually would have worked out. My God, TOS is so laggy right now. It's constantly going to different pages, which would have worked out. But I got my entry late. I missed this first entry, it bounced 8-9%, and then I got the second entry, which didn't work out, and I closed here for kind of a decent loss. It was a small position, but actually it was like a $1,500 position, but ultimately probably took like a 5% loss on it, give or take, maybe even a 6%. So not the best. NOG, one of our potential lead gappers on the day, but didn't amount to much. So I think I think right now, SONN, APDN, and ECOR are definitely our lead gappers on the day. With ACHV, I'm not totally sure what's going on here. I kind of feel like, I thought at first there was a reverse split, but it doesn't look like it. This thing's up massively right now, which makes me just not want to trade it. If I don't really totally know why stock is up so much, I typically just tend to not trade it. Here's the 2.1 million funding for coronavirus. ACHV is a reverse split, Steven says. Yeah, I think so as well. I'm just not sure why TOS is not showing that. Usually it's always being shown. I don't know. It definitely looks like a reverse split, so I don't always trade reverse splits. We'll see what we do. We got another kind of 15 minutes, so let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. So far, I mean, kind of just, you know, rocking the boat a little bit, getting our feet wet, nothing really too crazy. SONN was one of my bigger winners, if you could even say that. Had a little bit of a trade here. First a little support line bounce, and then another trade down here. I think was both of them's a little bit of a win. I'm not even really sure yet. That high is perfectly in the way, so I can't see exactly where I sold. But basically, it's actually having a bit of a triple bottom here. This might have quite a nice little reversal around. Actually, I would probably wait for this to break 5 and then maybe go towards 4.5 or so. We have a huge support at 4. I think that's how I would trade SONN this morning. I'm definitely going to take it easy. If I see a good opportunity, I want to jump on it. I want to get aggressive when I see it. Otherwise, I'll probably take today pretty slow. It's Friday. I'm not a big fan of our lead gappers. I'm also just a little bit fatigued after the long week, so no need to get aggressive on a not great setup. But if I see a good setup and I don't want FOMO later, I'm going to get aggressive when I see a good setup. First of all, guys, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the live stream where we first review the watch list, then we trade the market open every day. I hope everyone's feeling good, maybe a little hydrated. Maybe that's what it is. I just need to hydrate a little bit more. And then we'll hopefully be feeling better soon. So today is Friday. It's the 31st of July. It's the last trading day of the week and the month. And it's 9:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got another 14 minutes here before the market opens at 9:30, and we'll wrap up trading usually by 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Little reminder for everyone that's new here, this is for education and entertainment purposes only. My trades are quick and not meant to be followed. Always know yourself while you're entering a stock and what your targets are, especially the stops. This community is a place for us to help each other. Please do not spam or you'll be put in timeout and maybe kicked. Check out the video description below for some FAQs. Bunch of FAQs down there, and let's get into it. So I see what is a reverse split. Basically, a reverse split is if a company, here's a good example. So you need to have a price over $1 to be listed on the NASDAQ. And SONN probably went under $1 here at one point, and then they did a reverse split. And this chart is now adjusted for the reverse split. So let's say the stock price went now $1. They did a reverse split, which maybe like a 1 to 10 reverse split, which brought the stock price back to which brought the stock price from $1 to $10. But let's say they had 10 million shares outstanding. Now they only have 1 million shares outstanding. So if you own 10 shares at $1, now you only own 1 share at $10. really nothing too crazy, but at the same time, it is kind of crazy because that's how these companies stay listed on the market. And then the crazy part is what happens afterwards. So oftentimes a company's going down and going to get delisted because there's something fundamentally wrong with the company. And they're losing cash. So what happens is after the stock goes up, they then sell new shares into the market, pushing the stock back down again. So it's a very vicious cycle that you can get stuck in as an investor or a new time day trader if you hold your position too long, because you might think, oh, maybe the stock will go back up at one point. But to be honest, there's a good chance it might never ever. Actually, there's like a really good chance the stock price will never go back to the highs. For example, this stock was never trading at $390. I don't know what it was trading at, but maybe it was trading at $3 or something, and all the reverse splits. Well, actually, if there's only one reverse split and 1 to 26, yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it hit like $2 or something then at one point. But you get the point. It's never going to go back to $390 ever. And yeah, this is probably just going to keep reverse splitting. So you want to be very careful on tickers like this. It doesn't mean there's not good opportunity. It just means you got to be careful and probably not want to hold too many bags. Yeah, Spirit, no problem. Oh, interesting. Apple is doing a 4-to-1 reverse split. I actually didn't know about that. I would have to check it out. They might also do a split because they are trying to make an individual share more affordable. Obviously, if a company like Apple does a split, it's way different. And they wouldn't do a reverse split. I'm pretty sure they're doing a normal split just to make their price. Yeah, so they're not doing a reverse split. They're doing a split. Because they want their stock price to become a little bit more affordable again. They don't want, the Amazon or Tesla $2,000 stock, because, if you're just, some kid on Robinhood with $500, you obviously can't afford that stock. So that's probably why Apple's doing the splits. It's a big difference from a reverse split. If Apple was doing a reverse split 4-to-1, their stock price would now be $1,600, right? So there's a big difference. You don't want to confuse the two. Yeah, Cruiser, no problem. No problem. Like, it's a Friday. My eyes are already falling out and we haven't even started trading yet. So another reason to be cautious on a day like today. So it was a good thing that we sold our ECOR. I mean, we could have been averaging down, but that's a whole different kind of trade. I was looking for that bounce off of 2.8. We got the bounce, but it wasn't very strong, so I sold my position right away. On the 4-hour chart, ECOR kind of looks interesting. We have huge support here at 2.5, and probably out of the gates, I would look for some sort of 2.5 dip entry on ECOR. We got another kind of 9 minutes here before the market opens, kind of thinking about what I want to be doing. Most likely ECOR, though, I will keep a very close eye on that 2.5 level. So let's see if we could find any more entries before the market opens. Potential entries, I should say, because nothing is guaranteed. Did we talk about ECOR yet, though? Because 26 million float, U.S. Medical Instrument and Supplies Company. They updated updates on their Gamma Core Sapphire for coronavirus treatment. Basically, the availability of this drug, yada yada. What I'm really nervous on with ECOR is the fact that ECOR is on the backside of a pretty big move, which makes me pretty unexcited. So ECOR was a recent gapper, and guess what happened? Blam, this thing fell off a cliff. So anyone that is, so right now it's like at $3, right around here, big resistance in this area. Anyone that's holding this from that last spike, any of those back holders, they might be super happy to get out at $3. So when the market opens, I would not be surprised for ECOR to take a nice little fat dip. We'll see what happens, but I'm sure there's a lot of market orders ready to be triggered on it. ECOR had the updates on their Gamma Core Sapphire drug for coronavirus. SONN, I have no idea. I don't know why SONN is up. And that's another reason I was not really enjoying what I was seeing pre-market. I couldn't find a cat on, a cat is a catalyst on SONN. So again, big red flag there. Just keep that in mind. SONN has huge support though at 3.5, and look at all these other spikes it had that never held their high. So just be really, really careful here. I wouldn't be surprised if SONN just kind of sold off all day. I'm going to be looking for some 3.5 support though, and maybe we can snag some sort of entry on this one. Maybe $4 on SONN is actually going to be a little bit better. 4.5 is pretty close. Maybe crack of 4.5 even. We'll see how this thing kind of opens up here. But I would probably look for a trade on SONN out of the gates. Am I using TOS? Yeah, TOS ThinkorSwim. Yeah, Ryan. See, that's what I mean. You're not the only one with ECOR probably. I'm sure there's a lot of people in your position that are just going to be dumping. So that's why this thing has had a lot of issues pulling up already. It had a little bit of, this benefit of some volume out of the gates with that 9 a.m. Volume spike. So that's good. Got another 5 minutes here till the market opens. Make sure you got all your kind of limit orders and everything kind of ready to go here. So ECOR, we were saying about 2.5 could be a good entry. ECOR is also on the backside of a move, just like APDN. Oh my God, these are all on the backside of the move. They're all selling off so aggressively. SRNE, I'm not totally sure, Augustin. I think I'm going to be focused on APDN, ECOR, and SONN out of the gates. We got another 5 minutes here, so I'm just kind of thinking where I would like to possibly enter some of these tickers. AGXT. I don't see it. I don't see it. APDN, an entry around 12 could be really, really interesting. It would be a very quick pullback, but it would be possibly a 5-minute setup kind of pullback. So that could be a way to play it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go back to it. XGT is very aggressively selling off. I won't be looking at it. ECOR, if we opened up here and we pulled back about 10%, then we'd be looking for that'd be like that 2.5 roughly entry. So that could be a pretty sweet entry on it. I don't really think we're going to get a pullback that aggressively, though, on it, to be honest. KODK just dumped. Did it get an offering? Got to be careful with these stocks that have been holding for so long. No, it didn't get an offering. Yes, I'm surprised it held yesterday so well. When you said KODK dumped, I literally thought you meant freaking fell off a cliff or got an offering or down like 20-30%. That's how biased I am towards this one. Like I've been expecting that to happen almost. ECOR could definitely have an offering ready. So that's oftentimes why I don't trade tickers after 10:30. Tends to be a little bit more likely for news to come out. Let's go back to SONN. Could have a huge double bottom around, let's see, 420 or so. How does one obtain the wrench status? Usually when someone's here for a long period of time, they get the community, then I can make them a moderator. But you got to email me first, and we'll have a little chat about it and figure out if it makes sense. SONN, nice little possible turnaround story here. Another minute and a half, guys. Place some limit orders here. Possible chance of an entry out of the gate, but I don't know. That would be very, very conservative. I think 4.5 might actually hold pretty well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and maybe even cancel these orders. Be ready to kind of go around 4.5 myself. All right, guys, good luck, everyone. 30 more seconds till the market opens. The inner circle. Woo! Good luck, everyone. Well, let's just be calm and collected here. Look for smart, good risk-reward moves and go from there. Market's going to open and looks like a little bit positive here, so it should be quite nice. SONN and ECOR, both actually having a green candle so far, but I'm not going to be chasing these. It'll be really interesting to see which one lead gapper happens. Oh, PRPO, that was a crazy, what happened with that one? I'm going to watch ECOR for a possible entry actually around 63 if it keeps pulling back, which I don't know if it will. APDN at 12.8. ECOR is actually looking at SONN and ECOR are actually looking much stronger than I was expecting out of the gates. Going down here to 61. Possible bounce off of 53. Let's see if we can get a break. ECOR now pulling back as well. SONN still pulling back here. entry on ECOR. Looking for ECOR to have a little bit of a reversal at 264 entry. Maybe we can see a bit of a red to green one on this one. Would take some profits at around 75. $73 might get chipped away here. Taking some profits off the table at 73. Looking for a move now past 73. Maybe we could go into the 2.8 zone. Here we go, 80. Looking to take some profits at 82. I'm out of this trade now. Decent little profit, about 5% maybe, give or take. Looks like it could break VWAP here, ECOR. So that's what I'm looking for ECOR. I'm gonna quickly go back to SONN. SONN went down here to about 459. I had an entry kind of ready to go for it, but I missed it. Looks like it didn't pull back hard enough. I'm totally out of my ECOR position. Might enter again, but at the moment doesn't look like it. SONN pulling higher. APDN found some support at 12. Kind of an interesting zone that we were talking about. A little bit choppy. Actually, it looks like APDN might have a bit of a reversal here. Yeah, there it goes. Nice move here on APDN. I'm going to be really cautious with this one. I don't think it's going to hold up very well. It has a lot of sell volume. I'm going to be really careful with APDN. ECOR selling off again. Could see a double bottom on this one. Would probably enter on a double bottom. Small position at 67 on ECOR. Didn't really get the reversal I was looking for, so I'm going to close out this one. Very small profit on that one. Basically a scratch again. Been making a lot of scratches today. I'm a little nervous. This is going to keep kind of pulling off here. I think there might be even a crack of 2.6. Could be the crack here. Possible entry at 53. Might be too conservative. $260. More selling pressure coming in again. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer here. No need to rush into this one. $257 getting chipped away. I want to see one more little dip here. $257 seems like it's really holding this area. She's got an entry on 53. Another fill at 52. Looking for a quick little turnaround story here. We got the 9-minute EMA at 69. I don't know if we're going to go that high. Pulling back now to 51. Still selling off here a little bit. Could have averaged down, missed my opportunity. Looking here for a break back into the 60s. Big buyers on 53. Let's see if we can get into the 60s. That's really what I'm waiting for right now. 56, 256. Having some issues for sure. New minute's going to start in 20 seconds. Just had another fill there at 52. 10 more seconds until the new minute. Looking for a break into the 60s. Maybe even past 2.7, but I think that would be a little bit more aggressive. Possible sell entry at 62. Closed at 58. Another small profit on this one. I just kind of felt like we touched 60 for a second. I was hoping, you know, we would get that fast move, but we didn't. Make me really sketchy on this one. Doesn't look like it's holding up well, guys. There's a lot of sellers on ECOR, guys. Watch out. Let's see what happens. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe it's going to break past the 9-minute EMA any second. One second, guys. I can't check the chat room right now. I'll be happy to answer questions in a little bit. Right now, it's one of the hottest times of the market open, so I don't really want to miss it. Here we go. ECOR 2.6, finally doing a little bit more than we wanted. Can we... This looks like the break of 2.6 right here. Oh, man. Oh, no. Yes. I don't know. I'm not trading it. It's too indecisive for me. But if it breaks past 61, then it could be back in the game. So actually, this bounce looks pretty okay. So yeah, it just hit 63 for a second. That was my ideal profit target. No, it's just crazy how many sellers are on this one. Let's go to SON quickly. Is there a point holding onto a stock with a loss of over 30%? I don't know. Maybe for averaging down, it really depends if it's a long-term, like what your play is. It's really, really tough to say. If you're day trading, then no. If it is an investment and you generally believe in a company and you're averaging down and it's something that, you know, fundamentally you're following, then possibly. I have my stops at 4% and then my max stop at 8%. Sometimes I get out around 10% if I can't get out at my max stop, but I'm usually not trying to hold very long. SONN was halted, man. This is a little bit unfortunate. I missed this one, the entry at, you know, what, 4.56 or something. This runs up to 38%. So SONN was the biggest winner and unfortunately it missed. Looks like SZN is kind of shooting through here. I don't know what's going on with this ticker. Sub dollar. Ridiculous everything. I'm not sure why this wasn't on my scanner early. Actually, wait, was it? I don't know. I don't like the fact that it's sub dollar, so I most likely won't trade it actually. And Jared just got some money in his brokerage account. You. TAOP crashing. SONN opened up here from the halt, absolutely ripping. This thing has been quite the roller coaster. Coulda, shoulda, woulda been more aggressive on averaging down. I was too cautious there on SONN. Ah, Ryan, yeah, interesting take on that. It's definitely an option, but you don't know if you're going to be holding on a bag for a few weeks, few months, few years, and then some bags never recover. So it's not. I would say sometimes you get lucky, but I think that's really what it is half the time. I've been really careful with SONN. I don't really trust the way this one's been behaving. It keeps pulling off a lot, so I would not be buying this dip here. It could have a quick dip at 6 and then pull right back, but I don't know if it's going to keep breaking out. I'm going to watch it, but I'm probably not going to trade it. And if I did trade this $6 pullback, I'd be taking profits here at 6.50. Take my 50 cents and leave. High risk, high reward, this SONN trade. I missed my entry there right in the beginning. That's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, ECOR is having that double bottom right now. Actually, double bottoms are some of my favorite entries. We could have been playing around with this one for like, squeezing 3 cents, 4 cents a share out. I would actually like to see 2.5 maybe crack, but very likely find some support around 2.45 or something and then reverse, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Look at this, SNOO. I was pretty wrong about it. Pulled back to 6 and now really gaining some new momentum. I gotta say it's very impressive. But again, I don't think I'm gonna jump on it. I think I'm gonna have to let this one slide, which there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Double bottoms are some of my favorite entries. Michael, I don't know. ECOR could be a really good entry here at 2.5, but I would rather watch a crack. Oh, there it goes. There it cracks. Watching it closely, guys. Watching it really closely. Hit 250, 245. Still pulling down. Got an entry here at 42. $37, still pulling down here a little bit. Don't really trust this one. I'm going to take a small loss on it. Took about a $30, $50 loss on it. That sell-off was much more aggressive than I was looking to deal with. I was actually getting nervous it was going to get halted. That's how strong the sell-off was looking. So don't want to overstay my welcome on that one. Got out at 38. Still a lot of selling pressure on this one. Very strong sell-off. $9.47. Nice, Michael. Yeah, I could have held ECOR a little bit longer and walked away with a bit of a profit on this one, but that sell was really strong. That's kind of why I jumped ship on it. If we can break it to the 20s, I'd probably consider buying one more time. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Let's go back to SONN. Could be a bit of a 5-minute setup here. ECOR going now possibly into the 20s. No, it's looking like it's found some support. Whatever support it found is definitely pretty weak. Remember, SONN has a 9 million float, US biotech, and no catalyst. This thing is just ripe for crashing. All the times it's spiked in the past, never really held its high. So just be really, really careful, guys, on a ticker like this. I'm watching ECOR here at 36. Nice bounce at 6.5 on SONN. Really, really nice bounce. I was not expecting that. ECOR is still selling off. It's crazy how much this thing is selling off. I would like to see it break into the 20s. Possible entry here at 32. Possible entry at 31 on ECOR. Still not getting it. Nah, I missed my entry. We went down to 30. I was looking for a pull into the 27s. Just didn't get it. So I'm going to close my limit order maybe in a second here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to close it. Woo! Oh no, Satoshi, sorry to hear that, man. Ugh, that is not fun. Now we're just looking at it. What if it worked if you just held on to it? APDN has 11.3. Man, ECOR is really being a little bit crazy, huh? Let's quickly check it out on the hourly chart, see if we can see something different. So you can see ECOR pulled all the way down past 2.5, kind of approaching 225, a psychological area. We definitely have a bit of support around 225, and so that's why I was looking for that kind of crack into the 23s or something, but we didn't really get it. A little bit unfortunate. So yeah, 218 to like 225 definitely has some nice kind of support in that zone. So if we do get a crack on ECOR into the 20s, I'd probably buy a dip there. We're on our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candle in a row, but this candle might actually turn into a green candle already. It already is a green candle, but it might hold a green candle. All my biggest losses are pumping today. Yeah, maybe it's to Satoshi. That might be a clear sign just to kind of get out of here. Like, that's how I feel. Like, my last trade, I was like, you know what? That was a pretty okay trade. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe I should just walk away because I really don't like what we see today. And it's Friday where I'm just like mentally fatigued. Oof. I'm going to keep trading as long as I see good setups. I'm going to give it a little bit longer here. I think ECOR could be a good setup. I don't know if I would trade SONN. I don't think I'm going to trade APDN, but I'm just going to keep my eyes open. But again, like actually SONN, I got to say I'm pretty surprised. This one's really surprised me today. I really wanted that first entry here at like 2. I was waiting for 4.5 to crack for a second, and then I would have loaded up, missed it. Yeah, Michael, I feel the same way. I have an entry roughly at the same spot, and yeah, I don't want to see it break below 10 because I think if it breaks 10, then who knows how low it can go. And right now, more airline stocks are being hit, and second wave of Corona, everything that we were kind of predicting, but we'll see. Oh no, Satoshi. Oh man, that's just stressful hearing it. Yeah, Michael, I'm definitely a bit more of a dip trader. I do like trading breakouts on the pullbacks, which is, I guess, a dip on its own. But I'm not super aggressive today on the breakouts. I'm not really convinced on what I'm seeing. ECorp selling off again here, guys. Possible into the 2s. $28 entry here. Maybe one more entry at 27. ECOR at 228. Yeah, it's really important to understand that everyone has a different trading style, and like that's why it's really not something to be copying somebody else. You can get ideas from other traders, but at the end of the day, you got to know why you're trading, what you're trading, and try to find yourself. Try to find your own personality with your trades. Selling off here still, 27, 26. Can we get into the 25s? Possible fill here at 25, moving it to 26. Possible fill at 26. Moving it to 27. Didn't get my fills. Possible fill at 23. Looks like I didn't get that second entry on it. Kept on moving up my limit order, but we just didn't get the fill. Possible entry at 28. We just got to fill at 228. Looking for this to continue to the upside here. Still quite a bit of sellers on this one. Gotta say, it's quite surprising. Looking for that bit bigger move here past the 9-minute EMA. We have huge support now on ECOR. ECOR is definitely still having a lot of issues in this area. More issues than I probably would have wanted to see. Just had a fill at 25. Down to 23 for a second there. Average at 275. Might have to cut my losses on this one. Didn't get that break I was looking for. Yep, took another loss on this one. Was, 223 was kind of like my max stop on that one. We were chipping it away, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to sell at 222, so let me just get out of this one. Yeah, at this point, I'm just giving back profits. Really, really unfortunate. We were over 200 bucks, and I even called it out a little bit ago. So let's see where this one goes. Would like to see some support coming in here. I'll probably give it one more trade or two, and then see how it goes, because oftentimes I'll stop trading right before my last win. So I just want to kind of let this one work a little bit, see what we can get out of it. 220, big time support here. Yeah, 227. Yeah, I fumbled here. A little sloppy trading on my end for sure. That is what it is, guys. Jay, I have a whole video on my chart settings. You guys, you check them out. It's in the video description below. I even have an import, so you can import my exact layout. Might be worth checking out, because it's really, really hard to say for me what's wrong with the settings. APDN selling off so aggressively here. No surprise, I would say, though. BKYI, that was like a former runner. Is that even still running anymore? Probably on the backside of a move, losing volume, BKYI. Definitely looks like something I would not touch. No activity on this one. I don't know fundamentals about this company, so I can't really comment on it. ECOR pulling back here. 225, trying to pull lower, but just so many buyers on this one now. But still a lot of sellers. So I would like to see a bigger crack now, but I'm not sure if we're going to get it. Maybe we could even go into the teens on this one. That would be absolutely insane. Huge bounce though. ECOR Biometrics company. How do I decide on my entry? I don't know. It's like something you kind of get a feel for it at one point. Man, today is just such an unattractive day in the markets. So always a good time to exercise a day like today with a little bit of extra caution. Man, if we held that last ECOR trade, I would have been profitable. That's kind of annoying, but you just don't know. It's always hindsight's 2020. So yeah, just kind of giving back profits here. That's a good question, Jared. Oh man, ECOR, talk about dropping the ball so hard on that one. You got to be careful when you're, at the backside of the move. It's always kind of annoying when you just, start giving back profits near the end of the day or end of the morning, which it is for me. And that's pretty much what we just did. And it's kind of what we did yesterday too. But at least we cut our losses quickly, so I didn't sell at, the big lows. So I think that was kind of something we did right. So that sounds good. Crazy how APDN is selling off so much, huh? We do know that APDN has massive support around 10, so that could be a place to maybe look for a possible entry on APDN. Interesting rule. SONN looks really, really shady here, even kind of like a sideways head and shoulders, maybe even, I don't know. Like I said this whole time, I'm not going to be trading SONN. All right, I'll be right back. I need a little breather. What's up, peeps? Whoa, 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 guys, I totally forgot. Have you already hit that like button yet today? Because I don't think that we've had any mentions of it yet today. Wow. No, but in all reality, guys, I really, really appreciate all the likes. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a little bit of a weekend, a little bit of downtime. My eyes are like automatically closing. Too much going on right now today. David hitting the PD2 roll. Getting over it, nice. Dry July, how was that? That sounds stressful. SONN, guys, falling off a cliff here. Quite a ferocious little sell-off, huh? This is a big reason why I'm not trading SONN. That was quite the gap down. Gap down and opened up higher. Found some support at 6. Crazy. Yeah, today I'm really just not seeing almost anything that I'd want to be trading, in all honesty. I really liked ECOR out of the gates. I thought the 2 moves we did on ECOR were pretty straightforward. And then ever since then, it's kind of been selling off, and I had 2 fumbles, and my last fumble was a bit unfortunate because that one went up 10% literally right after I closed it. So yeah, that's just kind of what happens on these tickers that sell off all day. They're really, really hard to kind of get the right bottom. And if you don't cut your losses, you can just be riding it all the way down. So it's one of those things that it's just tricky. It's very, very tricky. I really like the quick movements at the market open. And then after that, it's just so easy to trip over yourself, and it's not really worth the time. APDN coming here to $10. This is actually quite a legendary sell-off it's had. Went all the way to like 10.07, 3% bounce so far. Yeah, Satoshi, seriously, I feel the same way. Nice bounce on APDN. Congrats to anyone that got that one. That's an area we were talking about for quite some time today. Man, ECOR literally right after I sell my position, what's it at now? Something ridiculous. Like 12 or 13% up from where I sold. Ha! Literally starting on when I sold. Oh well, that's just how it goes sometimes. Actually, ECOR, the way it's moving, it's trying to test VWAP soon here. What a reversal. Literally called out the point it was going to reverse at 225, and somehow I still lost money on it. I think it's because I had a little bit of an early entry. No, you know what it is? I had the right entry. I was up like 1.5%. I didn't take profits there, which why would you take profits there? I mean, you'd be looking for at least a 2-3%. And then it sold off again. Quick last dip. I cut my losses and then it reverses. So I had like a little bit of a fake out right before the reversal. You know, it's like so obvious. Like I knew it was probably going to do that anyway, but whatever. Mike, all good over there with APDN? So today's lesson for the day. Yeah, sometimes. Definitely everything after, what was that, like 940, that would have been true. I have a low limit order on ECOR around in the 20s. Maybe if it has a flash pullback, I'll get an entry. Otherwise than that, I don't think I'm going to be trading. David is the MILF hunter. Good to know. Any bottom is the right bottom. That sounds like that's some heavy stuff, man. APDN going here for a double tap at 10. Let's see what happens. APDN had quite the vicious 5-minute sell-off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles in a row now. I'd be really careful trading this one on any sort of bounce. Kind of seems like 950 is a bit of a zone. But David says he's not the MILF hunter. Yeah. I'm sure you guys are a bit of a team on that. Does that mean Eugene is the MILF hunter? No more SOS, the sweating out strategy. That's good. You're adjusting. APDN, either a double bottom or a break of 10. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And soy. Gotcha. Okay. Mama hunter. I have my MILF. Hunting days are over. That's good. That's good, man. You know where you are. That's good to be happy. APDN broke that $10 zone. ECOR still selling off here. No surprise. How low can it go? That's the big question. APDN did break 10, but it bounced right back above it. That kind of is a bit of a short-term bullish sign. I wonder how far it's going to crack. We've had several pullbacks here, about 7% on that one. 6% on that one, 6% on that one. Yeah, maybe at like 9.75, I would consider even buying APDN. TLSA, can I check it? It doesn't look like it's really doing anything though, but we could check it out maybe again. I don't really see a reason I would be trading TLSA, just a former runner that's kind of just selling off. Possible entry here at 77. Going already to 87, 88, 89. Didn't look like I'm going to get this one back into 90s. Yeah, I missed my entry there. Oh, man, I should have put a limit order ahead of time. I'd be up about 2.4%. I'll probably already be taking my profits on this one, in all honesty. Doesn't look like we're getting an entry on APDN. That's a little bit sad. Nice move higher there on ECOR and APDN. Yeah, so it looks like, man, APDN, we perfectly called it. Would have been up about 4 or 5% now. I feel like I need to have a moment of silence for that perfect miss. TLSA, huge pullback to 6, bouncing all the way back up to 10.4. Ridiculous. I have no idea why. Circuit breaker halt. Lands vaccine. Looks like all good news so far. They must have had an offering though. I'm not sure why this one fell off the cliff, to be honest. No idea. Something happened yesterday. Yeah, they're listing shares, so it looks like they had some sort of offering. Now they're kind of bouncing back. This is a pretty sweet move all the way back here. Whoops, my screen's not loading. Can we get a double bottom entry on APDN? That's the big question right now. Yeah, AAL has just been trending between a really nice zone lately. David, for swing trades, oftentimes macro news with a micro or macro trend with micro news. So the company has a specific catalyst that's part of a larger trend. I find really, really nice. Man, APDN, what an absolute miss this one was for me. Try to get an entry at 70s, in the 70s after we called it ahead of time, and then totally missed it. INTC, guys, look at this. This thing's below 47.55. Could be a really, really nice entry. INTC swing. 47.55, pulling lower. Any good videos? I don't know. Maybe just Google some and watch like 10 and see what some trends are. I think at the end of the day, you gotta figure out, you know, what strategy fits your style the best, and then get aggressive on that. Interesting, Jared. APDN trying to break higher here. I'm going to put an alert, see if it breaks below 10 again. Oh yeah, INTC is really falling off a cliff here. So in the INTC video, we said, you know, is this one a buy here and at 50? And the consensus was basically no, because this thing is just getting started on some really, really bad news, found some support at 50, but still selling off. So I'm really waiting for this one to even come down here a bit lower into maybe the 46 territory before I start throwing some position sizes up on it. But I'd probably start averaging down into the break of 47 or so. So I'm going to be watching it very closely here. We also have on the daily chart volume just really dwindling away quite a bit. So that could be a really good indicator that this thing might be getting ready to wrap up its move. Dividend on the 6th. So probably even worth day trading this one. Oh my god, you'd have to have such big position size for this to even be worth it. APDN with a quick pullback there to $10 support, new support. Really good stuff to see. I can't believe I missed this entry. I'm really kind of kicking myself about that one. That was probably the most obvious set. There was like a few setups today that were extremely obvious, and somehow I butchered both of them. That's crazy. Dude, it's so bad. Well, it's good. You have commitment, Jared. That's good. That's all it takes. Learning, 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 and eventually all the dots start getting connected a little bit. ECOR selling off right now. Let's see if it has some sort of spike to the downside. ECOR is still selling off here. What is Bitcoin at? It's 11,500. Wow, yeah, that's quite the increase on Bitcoin. I don't know. It's such a hard thing to call out. Predicting Bitcoin is really, really difficult. It does actually have pretty solid technicals, but it moves very slow. So something that I feel like should take a day or a week takes 2 months. It's just very, very slow. APDN selling off, hitting $10 here very quickly. Easiest thing to do is just average into it. Yeah, the day trader rule is pretty horrible. They need to get rid of that rule. It doesn't make any sense. That's because TD Ameritrade these are the futures. They're different than the spot price of Bitcoin. Yeah, hey, check out the video description below. I got a video on the template and also the import link on the template. Well said, Jared. APDN, that was quite an aggressive sell-off it had here. Gotta say, I was not really expecting that. I think we're gonna probably wrap it up here, probably in like the next 15 minutes or so. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I don't see anything else that I wanted to trade. Honestly, I was done trading earlier, basically at 9:38. I was done trading. I have some low limit orders on ECOR and APDN. I might get executed on both of these, so I'm just kind of hanging around a little bit to see if this amounts to anything. But other than that, I'm more or less done with trading for the day. ECOR still selling off a little bit. A little bit unfortunate here that I totally missed the APTN move. That move is probably giving me a little bit of FOMO. Wow, my stuff. Congrats, man. Really good. Really good. Slow and steady, man. Still watching ECOR. Let's see, Satoshi. Maybe we'll get one more trade in. I actually just removed my ECOR trades. I don't really feel comfortable with this one. I was kind of looking for a flash pullback, and now we're kind of selling off and getting closer and closer to my limit orders. And that's not really what I wanted. I wanted a quick entry. This is just, I don't want to get stuck in a downtrend again after kind of a failed breakout and reversal. Augustin, yeah, that sounds like an insane TLSA. Good sell though, great sell at 12. Sweet entry at 1040 as well, so good stuff, man. We're just getting so much stuff today that just looks so unfun to trade. Or just really risky, hard to manage your risk. The Pi network. I could check it out. How come you want me to check it out? Is there anything specific? I was thinking to wrap it up, but just so addicted to the comment section. Yeah, it's kind of a funny place here for sure. That's the only reason I'm sticking around. I should have really wrapped it up at 9:30. I knew almost for a fact that if I trade after that last trade with ECOR at 9:38, I was gonna have a loss. Like, it was so weird. Just like yesterday, I was like, after 10 o'clock, I was like, I'm done with trading. Boom, also took a loss. So between those 2 days, we probably gave back, $200. So just by keep on trading. So, at one point, it's best to just wrap it up. Do I short stocks? No, not really, not too much. Sometimes, but very, very rarely. I almost never short small caps. Girl, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's better than not soothing, huh? There's something really weird going on outside. Sounds like somebody's cleaning glass, but like very intensely. Oh man, you guys getting these cash accounts restricted. It's not fun. TLSA, wicked pullbacks here. No surprise. Could be a good dip at one point, but yeah, I don't know. Not too excited about that. Man, I really cannot believe we missed the APDN dip. There's not a lot of trades that give me FOMO, but like a missed move that you call out before it happens. And then I just totally fumbled over myself. I just was like trying to get my entries in too late after the move. Oh, it was so miserable. I can't believe that. So ridiculous. TLSA buyers has figured out it's not Tesla. Gets me going. He has some funny conversations going on here. I think I'm gonna remove this limit order. Oof. All right, guys. I think I should just do everyone a favor and probably wrap it up here. I mean, there's no reason to overextend it and do something silly. What jobs do you work before day trading? How much do you save up when you feel safe to make it to full-time trading? Yeah, that's actually true, Jared. The only place I've ever actually worked was an auction when I was a teenager. Like officially, and then I taught myself coding, and then I coded a lot, and I did like kind of freelance worked on a lot of coding projects. I actually grew my kind of coding company, and we started an office in Bulgaria, and that's why I started to be in Europe a lot. But yeah, that's like one of my big things. Did some marketing. Yeah, I made quite a bit of money from those projects. So that's kind of what paid the bills for me. And trading was a big part of my life in like 2013, 2014, 2015. Here goes APDN selling off again. Look at this little dippy. Small volume dip though, 89. And then at one point I just really took trading full time because I really, really enjoy trading. It's always been a passion of mine. So why not go all in? But I don't know. I would say make sure to have several income streams. Like even me, like day trading is just one income stream. I also have my investments, and then I also have my dividend portfolio. That's like 3 different income streams. And then I have, YouTube is now like amounting to something after a really, really long time. Skillshare doesn't really, like I was just thinking about Skillshare. I have my trading course on there, but I think my best month ever on Skillshare was like 270 or something like that, which really doesn't move the needle that much. I mean, like I spend about $1,600 a month on my apartment alone. So like, the Skillshare doesn't do anything basically. But yeah, it's one more diversified income. So yeah, I mean, if you have several streams, it's really, really nice. And you don't want to start day trading thinking about like, I need to day trade to pay my rent. That's very stressful. So like, try to get comfortable and, work your way up in a very comfortable manner. Appreciate my stuff. Thanks for the $3, man. Thanks for the support. Have I tried to make any trading bots? Actually, I have, and I work pretty closely with a company developing a crypto bot, but I don't know if it's really worth it, to be honest. Like, I think if you have the capital and the human resources, like Renaissance Technology, I mean, clearly it works. And I mean, that's one of the biggest hedge funds in the world, but it's very hard to do and it takes a lot of time. Like this firm was like 6 people working 24/7, like, well, not 24/7, but you get it, all the whole work day and the whole work week. Really smart guys. And there was always an issue with the bot. It was always breaking down. It would be losing money. I mean, at that time, you could just become a day trader, learn a few things, in 6 months be profitable. So like, I don't know. I feel like for most people, the bot life is not really something that makes any sense. I can't pay rent because I day trade. Oh no, that sounds really bad. Yeah, algo trading is definitely interesting, but it's just one of those things that you'll spend more time fixing the bot than you'll ever spend if you actually just day traded. Maybe, David, that could be something. Uh-oh, guys, it's the sirens. They're here. They're telling us we gotta go. I think everyone took a loss today. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely hard to do proper trading today, especially if you were an aggressive breakout trader. I actually like buying breakouts and I like buying, the pullbacks, but I knew that today was not going to be a day for it. That's why I didn't do it, and I was only trading dips. So today, we're walking around with 84 bucks. I gave back pretty much half my profit, so that's actually a big sign I have to stop trading anyway. Pretty unfortunate. I would really argue we were up about 160, 170, 80 maybe at one point, and then we kind of gave it back with those ECOR trades at the end. So it is what it is, but it's not really the end of the world. I'm pretty happy that we didn't have like a big loss or something really, really silly. So I'll take my 80 bucks and I'll be happy with it. Enjoy spending money on assets. That's right. That's exactly right. Jared, good call. Nice, Rory. Sweet, man. Yeah, same. Green Day, but nothing great. Any thoughts on ECOR? I don't know. It could be another dip around 225, but I think if it breaks 225, it might start selling off all the way to $2, maybe even past $2, like 180 or something. David, I bought a fancy car. That's an asset, right? An asset that depreciates quickly. Thanks, Dex, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the $5. Thanks for the support. All that money's going right to Trade Journal, guys. The servers are costing me more money than that site will ever probably bring in, but I generally enjoyed the project. And I'll keep working on it. So I like it. Mike, okay, that's good. How's Boeing? I think Boeing's doing all right. I mean, they're losing a lot of orders, but I don't think Boeing's going anywhere. So any big sell-off on Boeing, I'd probably end up accumulating if I was going long Boeing. I could be wrong, but I don't know. That's my quick 2 cents on it without much thought. All right, guys, don't forget to drop a like if you haven't done so already. If you're new, consider subscribing. I'd love to see you again. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to review the watch list and trade the market open. Wrapped it up today, gave back half my profits near the end of the day. That's always a big saying. I gotta close it up because I'm clearly just throwing money away at this point. So I had the 2 trades out of the gates that I really wanted with ECOR. After that, it was total nonsense, and I probably should have just closed my trading screens and just join the community a little bit harder. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you want to try see if you can maximize a little bit, and we tried to do it today and it didn't work. All right, guys, I will see you in the recap video, and I will see you guys first thing Monday morning, and I might see you this weekend if I do my recap video, my monthly recap video, which I believe I will do. they take a long time to put together because I go through a lot of stuff. I mean, it takes like a day and a half at least. So we'll see. All right, guys, take care. Don't do anything silly. Solve, very cool, man. Very cool. Software dev and day trader. I like it. Good combo. All right, guys, I will see you first thing in the recap video, and I'll see you guys this weekend and so on. Take care, guys. Ciao, ciao. Drink a Berliner, 100%. I'm going on a straight beer break. Thanks to my tanker stocks. Monday, I can't wait. It's going to be good. It's going to be hot. See you guys.